Good morning, class. Now, today we will start the next topic in this organizing chapter, that is delegation of authority. Delegation of authority, that means in every organization, managers are assigned lot of work, and manager also cannot alone perform all the work. So he divides the work among the different individuals working under him according to their qualification and get the work done from them. So the manager begins with sharing of the responsibilities with his subordinates. So delegation of authority means here the manager will divide the work according to the qualification of the subordinates, and then he divides his responsibilities with his subordinates. So he deliberated passes some of his responsibilities to the subordinate, and after passing the responsibilities, the manager also shares some of his authority. That means in the delegation of authority, not only the responsibilities is important to divide it. After giving the responsibilities to the subordinates, some authority should be given to them. That means power to make decision with his subordinates so that the responsibilities can be carried on properly. That means if you will not give any authority to the subordinate to fulfill the task, then it won't be easy for him also to complete the task on time. To make sure that his subordinate perform all the work effectively and efficiently in the expected manner, the manager creates accountability, and this whole process is known as a delegation. That means in the short we can say it refers to the process of sharing of tasks or responsibilities and authorities between a manager and his subordinates. That means whatever the tasks are assigned or may be given to the manager, that is not possible for the manager to fulfill all the tasks by himself, so he divides his responsibilities to his subordinates according to their qualification, and along with the responsibility he gives them some authority also, and time to time he usually check that all the subordinates are performing their responsibilities effectively and efficiently or not. Accordingly, he will take the action. So this whole process is known as a delegation. So now, after that, now the next topic in the delegation of authority means first topic is principle of absoluteness of accountability. That means delegation, we know that it is a very important process to carry on the work systematically in the organization. But delegation is not a process. That means accountability is absolute. Like responsibilities we can divide with our subordinates, but accountability we cannot pass or we cannot delegate. That means the superiors are always accountable. Like example I can give you for this principle of absoluteness of accountability. That means how the manager is accountable for everything. He can divide his responsibility, he can give the authority, but he is always accountable. Accountability cannot be passed or cannot be delegated. Example, like if the sales manager is assigned a target of selling like 1000 units in 1 month, so he divides this target among the 5 salesmen, those who are working under him. So one of the salesmen, if he fell sick, so at the end of the 1 month only 800 units could be sold. So in such a situation, the accountability lies with the manager, because he has passed this target to his subordinate. That particular salesman is not accountable. Who is accountable to the organization? Only the manager, because manager only delegate or he divided responsibility to this subordinate. So by passing or delegating the responsibilities, he cannot get rid of accountability. He should have checked in between and supervised them from time to time whether the work is going in the right direction or not, and taken the actions timely. So this is the principle of absoluteness of accountability. That means the whole process, the different tasks can be divided or it can be delegated to the number of subordinates according to their qualification, but the accountability always lies on the shoulder of a manager only. He cannot delegate his accountability, because at last he is accountable to the organization that he has achieved the target or not. If any subordinate is not able to fulfill the task on time, then only manager is responsible or he is accountable to the organization. Organization will ask the question only from manager. So just because of that only, the manager has to take the decision, the manager has to check the work of the subordinates time to time and if any problem is there, he has to take some actions. Now the next topic you can see elements or maybe the process of the delegation. So basically there are the three elements. First is the responsibility, second one is authority, and third one is the accountability. So first here I am going to discuss responsibility. With the name it is very clear. Responsibility means that all physical and the mental activities performed by employee at the job position. That means responsibility means the work which is assigned to an individual. Whatever the work is assigned to the subordinate, that is his responsibility. So it includes all physical and mental activities which is to be performed by the employees at the particular job position. So the process of delegation begins when manager passes on some of his responsibilities to his subordinate, which means responsibilities can be delegated, means responsibilities can be divided, it can be given to some other subordinate. Now, what are the features of the responsibility? Responsibility is the obligation है, that means you have to perform properly, the assigned duty. Second one, it arises from superior subordinate relationship, because subordinate is bound to perform the duty assigned by his superior. That means if the subordinate is getting the responsibility from the superior, so he has to fulfill this duty. Third feature is responsibility flows upward, because subordinate will always be responsible to his superior. These are the features of responsibility. Now, the next one is the authority. As I said, whatever the responsibilities are given to the subordinate, the manager has to give some authority to complete the task. So, the literal meaning of the authority means power to take the decision. Okay, so that means to carry on the responsibilities, every employee need to have some authority. So when managers are passing their responsibilities to the subordinates, they also have to pass some of the authority to the subordinates. So the delegating authority is the second step of the organizing process. So while sharing the authority, managers always have to keep this thing in their mind, that the authority matching to the responsibility should only be delegated. That means authority should be given according to the responsibility. If the work is given to the subordinate related with the sales department, so he has to be given the authority to take the decisions related with the sales. That means what type of the discount he has to give, what type of the services he has to give to the consumer, this much authority we have to give. So ultimately we can say responsibility is equals to authority. Now, the next one is your accountability. Accountability literal meaning is answerable for the non-completion of task. That means to make sure that the employees or subordinates perform their responsibilities in their expected manner. That means जो responsibility आपको दी गई है to the subordinate, are they doing the work effectively or efficiently? So the manager has to check it time to time. So accountability means subordinates will be answerable for the non-completion of the task, which creates accountability is the third and the final step of the delegation process. But the most important thing is that accountability cannot be passed or cannot be delegated. It can only be shared with the subordinates, which means even after delegating responsibility and authority, the managers will be accountable for the non-completion of task. Example which I gave you, another example, if the production manager is given the target of producing 20 machines in a 1 month, and he divide this target between the 4 workers or with the 4 subordinates working under him, that means 5 machines to be produced by each worker, but by chance one worker or one subordinate could not achieve this target, so at the end of the month only 17 machines are manufactured. So then production manager will be accountable for the non-completion of the target. So conclusion, we can say that accountability cannot be transferred or shared. It is an absolute term. Now the next topic is importance of a delegation. That means when we are dividing the responsibilities among the subordinates, after that how it is beneficial or what is the importance of the delegation. So your first benefit is effective management. Effective management, that means in the delegation process we know that the managers pass the work to the subordinates. So that means they are free to concentrate on other important matters, and the main job of the manager is to get the work done effectively and by delegating the authorities. So in this way the managers are able to complete their work effectively and efficiently. Second benefit or the second importance of the delegation is employees development. Employees development, that means as a result of delegation, employees get more opportunities to utilize their talent, and even some authority is also given to them. So it allows them to develop those skills which help them to perform complex tasks. So delegation help in making better future managers by giving them chances to use their skills to gain some experiences of the work related to higher job position. Third one is motivation of employees. Motivation of employees, that means in the delegation, when the managers are sharing their responsibilities and authorities with the subordinates, it motivates the subordinate and they develop the feeling of belongingness and trust which is shown to them by their superior. So some employees can be motivated by such kind of the non-financial incentives also. Fourth benefit or fourth importance is facilitates organization growth. Facilitates organization growth. In the process of delegation, when the managers are passing their responsibilities and authorities to the subordinates, they keep this thing in their mind that the qualification, the capability of the subordinates, accordingly that they have to they have to delegate the responsibility. So this leads to the division of work and specialization, which is very important for the organization growth, because in the beginning only I said that manager divide its responsibilities to the subordinates according to their qualifications and according to their skills. So accordingly specialization comes among the employees. Fifth one is the better coordination. Better coordination, obviously in delegation systematically responsibility and authority is divided and employees are made answerable for non-completion of tasks. So this systematic division of the work gives clear picture of work to everyone, and there is no duplication of work, and there will be a clarity between the duties and to whom he has to report and from whom he has to take the order. Sixth and the last one, reduces the workload of manager. Yeah, this is the most important benefit of the delegation, that in the process of the delegation, managers are allowed to share their responsibilities and work with the subordinate, which help the managers to reduce their workload. And easily they can pass their routine work also to their subordinates in order to complete the task of the organization. So these are the importance of the delegation. Comparative studies also given in your book among this authority, responsibility and accountability. Please note down that complete table from your book also.